Hello Xyy'nai of planet Earth, this is Xyy'nai and you're watching Xyy'nai Quotes. Reading quotes from a certain mojo is a really great way to gain perspective and insight to how their mind works, and this is no different with Xyy'nai. So in this episode we're going to go over different quotes that are being said by different Xyy'nai, and again, listen to these and see how they hit you and what kind of insights they glean or give you into the mind of a Xyy'nai, because that's what these are all about, and out of the mouth of Xyy'nai come these quotes, and you can bet that they have great insights into how Xyy'nai work. So enjoy these and listen to these, and hope you get something out of it. And here we go. First quote comes from Ben Affleck. Everyone's entitled to express their political beliefs. I don't presume to tell anybody who to vote for. I am comfortable telling people what my opinions are. Xyy'nai Andre Agassi said, I question myself every day. That's what I still find motivating about this. I don't have the answers. I don't pretend that I do just because I won the match. Just keep fighting and maybe something good happens. Andre Agassi also said, I've been motivated by overcoming challenge and overcoming the hurdles and obstacles that face me. There's still plenty out there to get me motivated by. And here another one from Xyy'nai Andre Agassi. But I would say when I was 4 years old and I was at the Allen King tennis tournament and I was hitting with all the pros that would come into town. They would get me on court or take notice, and that stayed with me. Xyy'nai Debbie Allen said, but out of limitations comes creativity. Debbie Allen also said, a director just pushes them a little this way or that way. Xyy'nai Armand Assante said, I do not want to act unless I have a great intimacy with the people I'm working with. Armand Assante also said, you love what you do, you are cursed with it, and then you get known for being cursed with it. Xyy'nai Sean Astin said, I definitely loved going on stage. I loved the nervous feeling and the performance and the doingness of it. It always felt kind of natural and inevitable and logical. Xyy'nai Kevin Bacon said, I think one of the most pervasive evils in this world is greed and acquiring money for money's sake. Once you have 6 houses and a plane, it's just about a number. It's never been anything I understood. Another quote from Kevin Bacon, I have a natural swagger. And yet another quote from Kevin Bacon, a good director creates an environment which gives the actor the encouragement to fly. Now some quotes from Xyy'nai Simon Baker. First one, I'm very straightforward and direct. If I disagree with something, I say something about it. Simon Baker also said, I need some challenges in love or I'm bored. He also said, I've seen the odd tarot reader and had my palm read in various countries and explained to me in many strains of broken English. Did I believe a word? To be honest, I didn't understand much, but I loved watching the presentation. Simon Baker also said, as a kid, I was always a bit of a clown, a performer. And another quote from him is, in general, the problem in a relationship is when the couple stagnates. And finally, another quote from Simon Baker, my life is pretty hectic, but I'm really into it. Xyy'nai Antonio Banderas said, characters don't belong to anyone, not even the person who plays them. Also said, I like going everywhere, and I love starting new things. He also said, I cry a lot, which is very difficult for a man to recognize, but I do. I cry in movies, just watching movies. And finally he said, there's something happening in the world that didn't happen before. We are acting like one big brain. Xyy'nai Bono said, music can change the world because it can change people. He also said, you see, idealism detached from action is just a dream. But idealism, allied with pragmatism, with rolling up your sleeves and making the world bend a bit, it's very exciting. It's very real. It's very strong. And he also said, my heroes are the ones who survived doing it wrong, who made mistakes, but recovered from them. Xyy'nai Richard Branson said, a business has to be involving. It has to be fun. It has to exercise your creative instincts. He also said, you don't learn to walk by following rules. You learn by doing and by falling over. He also said, fortunately, we're not a public company. We're a private group of companies, and I can do what I want. And he also said, so I've seen life as one long learning process. And if I see, if I fly on somebody else's airline and find the experience is not a pleasant one, which it wasn't in 21 years ago, then I think, well, maybe I can create the kind of airline that I'd like to fly on. Xyy'nai Jeff Bridges said, most cynics are really crushed romantics. They've been hurt, they're sensitive, and their cynicism is a shell that's protecting this tiny, dear part in them that's still alive. He also said, a fellow who accepts himself and is relaxed into who he is, that appeals to people. And he also said, I first got involved with ending world hunger, and I got hip to the facts about it, what a huge problem it was, and how it wasn't a matter of not having food or not knowing how to end it, but it was a matter of creating the political will. Xyy'nai Avery Brooks said, knowledge is going to make you stronger. Knowledge is going to let you control your life. Knowledge is going to give you the wisdom to teach their children. Knowledge is the thing that makes you smile in the face of disaster. He also said, what I am is a thinking, feeling human being compelled by history. Xyy'nai Pierce Brosnan said, when people don't believe in you, you have to believe in yourself. He also said, we owe it to our children to be better stewards of the environment. The alternative, a world without whales, is too terrible to imagine. Xyy'nai LeVar Burton said, it's not about division. It's not about politics. My concern is, how do we come together? He also said, I fly my geek flag proud. Absolutely. And LeVar Burton also said, if we marry educational technology with quality, enriching content, that's a circle of win. Xyy'nai Richard Chamberlain said, over a long period of time, living as if you're someone else is no fun. Xyy'nai George Clooney said, but I'm kind of comfortable with getting older because it's better than the other option, which is being dead, so I'll take getting older. Xyy'nai Gary Cooper said, the only achievement I'm really proud of is the friends I have made in this community. Xyy'nai Ted Danson said, if you actively do something, it'll stop making you feel like a victim and you'll start feeling like part of the solution, which is just a huge benefit to your body and your psyche. Xyy'nai Wade Davis said, all cultures through time have constantly been engaged in a dance with new possibilities for life. Change is the one constant in human history. And he also said, heroes are never perfect, but they're brave, they're authentic, they're courageous, determined, discreet, and they've got grit. Xyy'nai Michael J. Fox said, one's dignity may be assaulted, vandalized, and cruelly mocked, but cannot be taken away unless it is surrendered. Xyy'nai Jonathan Frakes said, I've always thought that we as human beings would be naive and arrogant to pretend that we're the only life form in the galaxy. Xyy'nai Steve Irwin said, I have no fear of losing my life. If I have to save a koala or a crocodile or a kangaroo or a snake mate, I'll save it. Xyy'nai LeBron James said, commitment is a big part of what I am and what I believe. How committed are you to winning? How committed are you to being a good friend? To be trustworthy, to being successful? How committed are you to being a good father, a good teammate, a good role model? There's that moment every morning when you look in the mirror. Are you committed or are you not? Xyy'nai Thomas Jane said, I think what makes us human is our interconnectedness among people. It's our ability to form and maintain relationships. It's the barometer by which we call ourselves human. Xyy'nai Jon Bon Jovi said, nothing is as important as passion. No matter what you want to do with your life, be passionate. And he also said, success is falling 9 times and getting up 10. Xyy'nai Gene Kelly said, I still find it almost impossible to relax for more than one day at a time. Xyy'nai Matthew McConaughey said, life is a series of commas, not periods. Xyy'nai Ricardo Montalban said, true love doesn't happen right away. It's an ever-growing process. It develops after you've gone through many ups and downs, when you've suffered together, cried together, laughed together. And he also said, being the only non-black was a unique experience. After a few weeks, you're not aware of the skin color differences. You see the color, you're not blind, but it doesn't matter. You see the human being first. And he also said, if you shake your fist, the other guy will shake his too. But if you extend your hand to shake their hand, then they'll extend theirs also, and you've made a friend. Xyy'nai Roger Moore said, teach love, generosity, good manners, and some of that will drip from the classroom to the home, and who knows, the children will be educating the parents. And he also said, if you don't have humor, then you may as well nail the coffin lid down now. Xyy'nai Barack Obama said, change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. And he also said, if you're walking down the right path and you're willing to keep walking, eventually you'll make progress. And Barack Obama also said, even when folks are hitting you over the head, you can't stop marching. Even when they're turning the hoses on you, you can't stop. Xyy'nai Phylicia Rashad said, there's always something to suggest you'll never be who you want to be. Your choice is to take it or keep on moving. Xyy'nai Christopher Reeve said, a hero is an ordinary individual who finds the strength to persevere and endure in spite of overwhelming obstacles. He also said, at first dreams seem impossible, then improbable, and eventually inevitable. He also said, a hero is someone who, in spite of weakness, doubt, or not always knowing the answers, goes ahead and overcomes anyway. And Christopher Reeve also said, don't give up, don't lose hope, don't sell out. Xyy'nai Julia Roberts said, you know it's love when all you want is that person to be happy, even if you're not part of their happiness. And she also said, true love doesn't come to you, it has to be inside you. Xyy'nai Tony Robbins said, life is a gift and it offers us the privilege, opportunity, and responsibility to give something back by becoming more. He also said, only those who have learned the power of sincere and selfless contribution experience life's deepest joy, true fulfillment. He also said, remember, a real decision is measured by the fact that you've taken new action. If there's no action, you haven't truly decided. He also said, it's not what we get, it's who we become, what we contribute. That gives meaning to our lives. He also said, I challenge you to make your life a masterpiece. I challenge you to join the ranks of those people who live what they teach, who walk their talk. He also said, successful people ask better questions, and as a result, they get better answers. Tony Robbins also said, beliefs have the power to create and the power to destroy. Human beings have the awesome ability to take any experience of their lives and create a meaning that disempowers them, or one that can literally save their lives. He also said, the meeting of preparation with opportunity generates the offspring we call luck. Another quote from Tony Robbins, you see, in life, lots of people know what to do, but few people actually do what they know. Knowing is not enough. You must take action. He also said, surmounting difficulty is the crucible that forms character. He also said, when people are like each other, they tend to like each other. He also said, most people have no idea of the giant capacity we can immediately command when we focus all of our resources on mastering a single area of our lives. He also said, stay committed to your decisions, but stay flexible in your approach. Another quote from Xyy'nai Tony Robbins is, people are not lazy, they simply have impotent goals, that is, goals that do not inspire them. He also said, take control of your consistent emotions and begin to consciously and deliberately reshape your daily experience of life. He also said, there is always a way if you're committed. He also said, a path to success is to take massive, determined action. Tony Robbins also said, you see, it's never the environment, it's never the events of our lives, but the meaning we attach to the events, how we interpret them, that shapes who we are today and who will become tomorrow. He also said, there's no such thing as failure, there are only results. And he also said, the only limit to your impact is your imagination and commitment. Xyy'nai Gavin Rossdale said, any reaction is better than none. Xyy'nai Jon Stewart said, there is no such thing as an impartial jury, because there are no impartial people. There are people that argue on the web for hours about who their favorite character on Friends is. Xyy'nai Oprah Winfrey said, "Turn your wounds into wisdom." She also said the greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change his future by merely changing his attitude. Oprah Winfrey also said, "Passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you." She also said real integrity is doing the right thing, knowing that nobody's going to know whether you did it or not. Oprah Winfrey also said, "Surround yourself with only people who are going to lift you higher." And finally, she said, "The whole point of being alive is to evolve into the complete person you were intended to be." Hope you enjoyed these Xyy'nai pearls of wisdom, and until next time, know yourself, grow yourself, save the world.